I know what you're thinking. Richard, do you really have a YZ-450 and you're insisting to take your FZ-09 to the dirt? Are you kidding me? Not kidding. So this is not my bike. I wish it was my bike, but it's my cousin's bike. And he's really just like complaining about the bike wanting to like inch when the bike is idling and in neutral. So he was expecting, you know, there's always, when you rev a bike, even if it's in neutral, the rear tires are always gonna be moving. So, but that is not enough to be moving your bike on its own weight when it's on the pavement. So I'm just going to take a look at it. He also complained that the bike, it's a little bit like difficult to kind of shift. So I started by just making some adjustment to the clutch, to the clutch cable, and it didn't do a lot. So I'm just going to be taking a look at the clutch today to see if the friction plates are within spec, if the springs are within spec, and maybe of course a visual inspection to see if maybe the metal plates or the actual clutch is, you know, no good, or maybe the friction plates are just, you know, doesn't have enough friction material to do a good job, and then just looking for anything that, you know, seems to be out of place whenever we open the basket. So let's just take a look at it. Okay, so I'm going to start by removing the bolts. This bolt is suspicious. This in the back. Okay. 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 There you go. Remove, loosen them all because I want to take a quick measurement of the springs. Okay, doesn't take much because it only needs 7 pounds of torque for these. Okay, so let's remove this. Okay, oh, this is stuck in here. Okay, put it down. Okay, so the book calls for 50 millimeters, and 49 is the limit. So this is 50, I mean actually, no, here. So 49 flat is the limit, so my only hesitation is that I just want to make sure that this is right in the middle, and I'm also measuring them in a way that, okay, that seems 49. Well, let me bring it out a little bit. It's like 48. If I rotate it, it goes to 49 because of that additional like coil at the top. So yeah, I think this needs replacing. So now I'm just gonna take my pick and remove a few of them just to take a quick look. So the thickness of the friction plates based on the book, it's 292 to 308. So let's see, this is the friction area. 2.8 is the limit. Oh, sorry, I'm not on there. See if I can focus in here. So that's 3.0, so it's not bad. 2.9 maybe. Just trying to keep it somewhat so you can see it. 2.9. 2.9, pretty consistent. Now I don't know how to check for warpage, but I don't know if I have to. You see this right here, this might be working okay still, but I see some burn in some areas, like it got overheated. The back looks okay. Let me take a quick look at the next one. See more discoloration. Oh, this is rough right here, huh? So do you see this right here? This area is rough, huh? Okay, let's take a look at the next one. All right, so essentially at this point, I went through all of the metal plates as well as the friction plates, and seems to be all in about, seems pretty good condition. As I get closer to the motor or the engine, it's actually, or the case, it actually gets better. So, I mean, not real issues with this so far. So let's see what's coming next. I want to count this, so make sure that I have the right amount whenever I'm going to get a new set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 friction plates, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 metal plates. Okay. All right, so upon further investigation, I realized that I may have missed the fact that there's some very heavy grooves in here that are potentially what I think some people are referring to, describing as the bike creeping in, like I mentioned before, like inching, creeping, when the bike gets on neutral, and then in some cases just making the shifting action very difficult to engage, because the actual friction plates are actually getting into this groove and actually resting, and there's no like free movement of them, because they're all kind of being forced in, kind of getting comfortable, I guess, by leaning on these fingers on the basket. So I'm just gonna go ahead and the owner is actually gonna get ready to purchase the kit with the cover, the clutch, the friction plate springs, including the clutch basket. But I know some people, as a temporary remedy, they actually pull it out and then file this in order to make it doable and make it flat, knowing that you're never going to be able. I mean, you're gonna have to change it at some point, but I just want to give it a try. And so we're still want to go that direction of replacing it. I might as well just go ahead and give it a try and see if it actually fixes the issue. So I thought I was recording, but I wanted to show you the contraption that I did in order to remove this. So I actually used some of the housing bolts, and then I used one of the existing drum basket holes, and I screwed both of the bolts, and once they were bolted down with the transmission in neutral, this was enough just to keep it from moving, and I was able just to remove the nut, so without damaging anything. So now I'm ready to remove this, which pretty decent shape, so no issues or drama with this. And now we got to this guy right here, so I just need to remove it so that I can start filing this. And I wanted to do it outside of the engine. I just didn't want to be filing, just so I can have good penetration when I'm going back and forth. All right, so we're out. So now you can probably see the grooving that I was chatting about. So it's pretty gnarly, I think. You can actually see it here pretty good. Let me take a quick look at these spacers in the back. So it doesn't seem like there's movement in here. So this feels pretty tight. I don't see any damage in here besides the obvious, which is us trying to make this better. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Like I said, we need to replace this basket. That's the way to go. But since the owner is already ready in order to kind of move forward with potentially replacing everything, so we're just gonna give it a try and see if we can smooth it out and see if that help us to fix that feel and stop the bike from creeping in. And if that's not the fix, then at that point we're just gonna be replacing everything anyway. So this is just a good way for us to practice and see how we feel after we do this, to understand and confirm that this is indeed the issue for the hard shifting, in addition to potentially any other issues with the clutches. This one is almost done. I'm going to be now showing you how it sounds, the new one that I just filed versus the one with the groove. Take a look at this. Now listen to the new one. Almost flat. It was definitely catching in there. Okay, so now I filed everything. I didn't want to eat more than than was needed, so I just did it, just to flatten the surface. And in some cases, you might still be able to see some of the remaining areas. So that's okay for me. I'm okay with that. I'm just now going to go ahead and install it and torque everything down and see if it works. Like I had a little bit more to go. All right, now we're talking. I think it was not like that before. It was not seated like that before. So now washer again. If I can get it. Okay. Washer. There you go. Now we have much more in here. Now we have the washer here. Okay. So now I'm gonna use the contraption I used yesterday. So I'm going to be locking this one here and then positioning this so I can get this one here. Gonna help this contraption. I think it's almost there. And now we're just gonna start putting everything back. So I know you're gonna have to take my word for it, but it's actually shifting better, actually starting better, and under idling, conditions, the bike was actually not creeping in like it was before. I am not saying this is fixed. The correct way to do it is just to replace all the systems and the components. But if you were to run Sunday and Saturday, you can do this fix so you can still go on Sunday. This is something that I would definitely recommend. Before, it was super hard to get into neutral. And actually from first or second or second back to neutral or first back to neutral. And now I'm just going to show you, how I'm able to kind of go, through the shift and the bike not moving when I'm actually holding the clutch or lever in with the bike on first. So, I think it's success. So all I'm saying is just, give it a try. You know that this is a temporary fix you might be able to do, and just, enjoy your bike whenever you can.